What's going on, fellow freelancers? Coming at you with another Anthem video. Today we're going to talk about quality of life benefits to the game, going the extra mile by the devs, and the things that they're doing that are implying, if not proving, that they definitely have a solid game plan for this game going forward. Stay tuned today on the road to Anthem. Alright, let's jump right into this today. All the things that I have seen, videos I have looked up, gameplay I have actually witnessed, played myself, etc. I have noticed that this game has a very unique style and look, which is awesome. So many games have such a similar look and feel to them, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You've got a military game and they pretty much look like a military game. They might have their own few unique little things, but for the most part they're the same game. And in this game does not feel that way. It feels very new, very rich, very alive. When you get the controller or the keyboard in your hand and you run around for the first time and fly up into the air, jet around and dodge and dart and dive down into combat. You transition from your flight into your combat, right back into your flight, very seamlessly, very clean, and it's just it's a feeling that's very hard to describe. You will understand. I definitely recommend at least playing the free demo before you pass judgment on this game one way or the other. It's like I said, it's an experience you must play to truly understand. The free demo is available February 1st through the 3rd for everybody on PS4, PC, and Xbox for those that are interested. And of course, as mentioned before, the VIP demo is also available this Friday from January 25th to the 27th for those that have pre-ordered the game. Anthem features a end of event completion screen, similar to other games like Monster Hunter World, for example. Basically what this means is you earn experience and you earn loot, but you don't really see it in real time. You get it all at the end. So let's say you're out on a free play expedition, you're out there for 2 hours. You're not really going to level up. You're going to accumulate experience earned. And then when you finish your expedition or stronghold mission, whatever it is you're doing, you get your completion and total screen. And then that will tally up all of your experience, all of your loot gained, and you will then be rewarded all of it then, as well as any accolades, commendations you've completed, etc. Anthem has an extensive matchmaking system for literally everything in the game, from missions to contracts, legendary contracts, strongholds, and even free play. It's very easy to use, very neat and clean interface, and it even has a built-in party invite system, which, although is not unique to Anthem, it's nice that they added it in, because very few games do this. It's very clean in and out, joining a group, leaving a group. And also, you'll notice, if you watch the last live stream that just happened on the 17th, we will see the squad window, or party widget. It not only shows the standard thing, your group members' current HP or hit points, and their shields, but there's also a little radar gauge that will show you the direction that person is in, which is great because if they need to be revived or they're overrun by enemies, you can go over there and help them, which is amazing in a co-op game because you're going to need to help your squad mate and work as a team in order to get a lot of this stuff done. Another cool feature in this game is the mentor system. Basically what this means is, let's say you're a high level. Your friend wants to start playing the game. Obviously they're a low level. You can join them in an event, stronghold, etc. It will level you down, or scale you down to where you're more on par with them. Even though you will still do more damage because you have better gear, you won't be a bull in a china shop, so to speak, just blowing everything away with one shot and ruining the fun for your friend. So that's a really cool feature that I absolutely wish more games would have. because I actually do this a lot, either playing with my wife or my dad. They never get to really enjoy the game and have fun. You just blast them through everything and it's pointless. And contrary to popular belief, not everybody wants to be blasted through the game. They don't want to rush to endgame just to be done with it. There are, well, the majority of players who want to actually experience the game, enjoy the game. I couldn't tell you how many times, especially in MMO games, where they'll plow through the game and they'll only actually experience maybe 20 to 30% of it. And then they'll sit around and they'll complain there's nothing to do. Well, that's because you plowed through the game and didn't even experience over half the content. So whose fault is that really? Games like this are designed for exploration. They're literally designed for you to waste hours and hours and hours of time just exploring, looking through every nook and cranny, trying to find every cortex you can find, trying to find all the information about the backstory and the lore and the iconic characters like the Legion of Dawn, stuff like that. And I know that's not for everyone. I know not everyone's going to play that way. But for those of us who do, I wish that you people who don't would at least understand it. But I digress. While we're on the subject of groups, let's say you get disconnected during a stronghold or whatever. You have a window. I believe Mike confirmed it was about 2 minutes, and that is still subject to change. Within that 2 minutes, you can come back in and be placed back in your group. And also, in that same time, nobody can remove you. So you're pretty much safe as long as you can get back on. Let's say you couldn't get back on in time and, are you SOL? No. They're saying that any experience and gear that you earned prior to disconnecting will still be waiting in your little mini dimensional pocket hole. And the next time you receive a completion screen, that experience and gear will be added to it as well. So that's kind of neat. That's very unique. Also, aside from disconnecting, just generally say you didn't pick up an item off the ground. If you forget or neglect to pick up an item for whatever reason, those items are gone. They're not going to be auto picked up for you, with the exception of Masterwork gear and Legendary gear. Those will automatically be picked up and mailed to you essentially in the completion screen at the end. And as stated many times by multiple sources, of course your gear gets better the higher tier it is. The 6 tiers, common, uncommon, rare, epic, masterwork, and legendary. Yes, your 6 tiers. So you could get, say, a shotgun. That's green, which is your uncommon. And then you get the same shotgun that's blue, your rare. Or even purple, that's your epic. The stats will change, of course, as well as any of the inscriptions or bonus abilities added to the weapons. I know that a lot of this is common sense for similar games, so bear with me for those that don't actually know. Now, your gear can also be expanded and enhanced further depending on what components you plug into your armor. Each javelin has 6 component slots. Also, pilot skills, your personal player character as you level up, can affect certain abilities as well. Like I know that for a fact that there's a skill that affects your flying, allows you to fly for longer, things like that. So you can go even further into your build and make it more personalized. Which brings me into one of my personal favorite features about this game, and that is the loadouts. The build diversity in this game is insane. Even though each javelin has its specific pros and cons, you can still customize it for your personal play type, and you can fine-tune everything. You can make a specific build for explosions, a specific build for your weather and your storm mastery. Maybe you want to play a firestorm, you can increase all fire. Say you want to play an acid-based interceptor, you can do all acid, and just really fine-tune your personal control depending on what you want to do. And of course there are modifiers and stats that are important to each javelin, each build, etc. On a quick note, I just want to point out, during the live stream on the 17th, they told us a few really interesting things. One of which was that your controls, your actual play controls, can be fully customized. Although we do not know the exact extent of the console, because the live stream predominantly featured the keyboard and mouse, there is an extensive customization list there. Although Ben did say that there is customization on the controller, so that's good. Another thing that's got a lot of us excited is the weather effects. When it's raining, the water hitting your jets will actually cool your jets down, like at a tick, kind of like a healing over time, so to speak, for your engine, which allows you to fly longer. Now, alternatively, there's also lightning, and if you get struck by lightning, it'll basically stun you and throw you out of the sky. So be careful for that. But the fact that it has dynamic weather that actually affects you is really, really cool. Another thing we learned from the live stream is about contract missions and the fact that they're fully dynamic. Now, contracts are basically faction-based missions that are given out by contacts around the world. Of course, from the various different factions within the game. Now, you'll be given these contracts for varying different levels, and you'll complete these contracts. They're multiples of different objectives, but eventually you will get what is called a legendary contract, which is basically the endgame contract. Now, these are your high-end contracts where you will face off against the big baddies, the legendary Ursix and the legendary Ash Titans and stuff like that. But what makes these contracts really unique and really neat is, although they are repeatable tasks, they're also dynamic, meaning that they change every single time you do them. Like in the live stream, we saw that they had some kind of technical glitch. It's an alpha build, what do you expect? But anyway, they quit out, they reloaded, and they restarted the mission. And the second time through the exact same mission, the objectives actually changed. Although minute here and there, the second encounter completely changed. So that's neat. You're doing the same mission, but you have completely different objectives, completely different monsters you're fighting. It makes the grind feel so much more lessened. It reduces the grind fatigue immensely. Now let's get into the endgame discussion. Okay, I know a lot of people are worried about this because so many games that are set up in the same kind of model, like The Division, Warframe, Destiny, even most of your MMOs, the end game is what really sells the longevity of the game. Because even for people who take forever to level up, eventually they're going to reach end game. And of course, the people that pound up there fast are going to be there sooner. But is there enough content to keep you engaged over the long haul? Well, obviously, we're not going to know that yet. But a few of the things we do know is that Bioware has stated they have a 10-year plan for the game. They've mentioned that they're going to be releasing new content regularly for free, so that's good. Having the dynamic world, the ever-changing weather, the ever-changing just random events that pop up, Shaper Storms, stuff like that, plus the missions themselves also being dynamic, that really, really helps with the replayability of these daily and or repeatable tasks, because we know there are going to be daily, weekly, and monthly, missions. And as I said before, that will greatly reduce the grind fatigue, presumably. As long as they keep up with the regular content add-ons, I don't really see a problem going forward. Even with games that struggle, they still maintain a pretty decent fan base, depending on the game, of course. And given games like, let's look at, Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, a lot of people still play that, and they still regularly update it. Not as regularly as they used to, obviously, but you've got the multiplayer for Dragon Age Inquisition, which is still going and still regularly updated. And then you've got the multiplayer for Mass Effect Andromeda, which is still insanely popular. How many years since that game's come out? It's still insanely popular, and they're still releasing update patches for it like every 2, 3, 4 months. I mean, it's insane. They're constantly releasing new additions for it, new add-ons, new content, new classes, etc. It's insane. So if they can do it in a game like that, I don't see why they couldn't do it in a game like this that's actually designed for it. And what I mean by that is your games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, those are single player games that have a multiplayer component. So it's not the forefront. Now, Anthem is built as a co-op multiplayer forefront. So that should be the primary focus above all else. So, like I said, in my opinion, as long as they keep up and they stick to their word, I see zero problems with the longevity of this game. And with a 10-year plan in place, they obviously have some kind of direction they're looking to go with. So, we'll wait and see. And that's it for today, guys. Hey, if you've got any specific topic you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to address that with you. Or just if you want to talk, chat about the game, I'm always open for that as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Definitely hit that bell so you know when new content comes out, as it comes out regularly. And feel free to share my videos. I'd love to get out there more. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time on the road to Anthem.